Politicians on Capitol Hill now calling for unity. As the media points out, the gridlock has gone toxic. We have a headline today from the New York Times. It reads, quote, America's lethal politics. The LA Times reads, reaction to shooting reveals a nation that doesn't just disagree, it hates. The Boston Globe, after Alexandria shooting, both parties owe the nation a more civil political dialogue. Now, how do the markets react? Newspaper stocks, like to check them for you every now and then. Closing mostly mixed today. The Dow tipping slightly in the red today. Let's bring in economist Ben Stein. He joins me now. Good to see you, Ben.
Nice to see you. Thank you.
So it's gridlock gone toxic. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that the leftist media has done the most masterful bait-and-switch job I have ever seen in my life. Instead of this story being a crazed leftist Bernie Sanders supporter attacks a group of Republicans, it's, oh, no, it's an attack on all of us. Kumbaya, we've got to come together. It's great. Let's have a kumbaya moment as long as it can possibly last. But I doubt if anybody would have predicted that the media would say, oh, let's come together. If it had been a Republican attacking a group of Democrats, it would have been hysteria. It would have been the end of the world, as my friend Renee says. It would have been the end of the world. But if it's a Democrat attacking a group of Republicans, then it's a kumbaya moment.
Yeah, your point's well taken. And we had Congressman Sherrod Brown saying, you know, I don't want to blame Donald Trump for the rhetoric. And let's face it, yeah, there's been heated rhetoric. I don't want to blame him, but then he points out the heated rhetoric. Yeah. But you know what?
Heated rhetoric. I think what Kathy Griffin did should put her in prison.
Understood. I hear you.
What she did with that severed head of Donald Trump is a clear incitement to murder, at least in my opinion. I'm not a judge, but it's a clear incitement to murder.
I hear what you're saying.
And we've been seeing this over and over again.
I'm sorry, I'm moving quickly along because there are some really astonishing tweets coming out from this Washington Post writer, Malcolm Harris. He's tweeting this after the shooting, quote, if the shooter has a serious health condition, then is taking pot shots at the GOP House leadership considered self-defense. He also tweeted this. Nope, you can't use, quote, respect for human life to defend GOP leadership. That's just bad math. He also said, quote, hearing David Duke without the baggage, Steve Scalise, meaning that's how he's calling Steve Scalise, hearing that he is stable, but a lot of Americans die from hospital errors, so keep crossing your he meant fingers. What are your thoughts there?
I think this person must not be feeling very well. I don't know who he is, but and I'm not a psychiatrist, but I don't think he's quite right in the head. It's just an opinion. I'm not a psychiatrist, but this is a person
for the Washington Post.
Totally confused. Well, the Washington Post has become, I used to work for the Washington Post, so I have a certain fondness for them, but they've become a hate organ of the first magnitude. They're the #1 haters, even more than the New York Times. And to say that this is an issue which has nothing to do with politics is ridiculous. The Hollywood and the mainstream media have been leading this poor crazy Mr. Hodgkinson down this path for a long, long time. That being said, if it can be a kumbaya moment and if it can really last, it would be wonderful. But the media is not taking us in that direction. They're already saying, oh, the New York Times also has a headline today saying this is business as usual in America. Yeah, it's not business as usual. This is an assassination attempt.
That's the DC media business model is gotcha politics because they think that makes great TV. Final thought, Ben.
My final thought is that we should probably have a policeman and a policewoman attached to every congressman. If it costs another $75 million a year, it's well worth it. These guys need to have their lives protected.
Ben Stein, we love you. Thanks for coming on the show.